joining. Hi. Good afternoon.
Great. Good afternoon. How is it going?
Hi.
Hi, Allegra.
And try to share. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I haven't checked the second screen yet, but it looks to be working.
Right.
How is it going?
Great. So
This is the final sprint, right, for you?
It is, definitely. But yeah, a lot of fun.
So how many people should we expect to join?
So I think based on our experiences, I think 25, 30 plus will be joining.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I think also the audience can already hear us. So
okay, great.
So maybe as a heads up to everyone, we will start with this session on time in about 3 minutes. So get settled. You can already see many startups requested for to come on stage. Of course, we will do this during the pitches, but right now I leave you in the lobby. And for the ones, pitching, if you have not done it, to request access to video or sound, I will ask you to do so now. But I think it's looking good. Okay. And maybe also to the people who are already in here. So we will have the possibility to use the chat and also, of course, the Q&A part. You are always very eager to always ask questions. As we do have 9 to 10 startup pitches today, we will always have a 2-minute Q&A part per pitch. So feel free to ask your dedicated question in the chat, and then Allegra actually will moderate it, the Q&A for every startup. And yes, so 2 minutes to go. Nice, already 17 people, that's great. All right, 1 minute left. Coming more and more people every second. Okay, already 19 people, that's great to see. Good afternoon, everyone. And yes, I would say, as we do have 4 p.m. sharp, I know there are going to be a couple of people joining as well, but I think we'll just go ahead with the introduction, as we have a very content-packed breakout session for the next hour. Really looking forward to this one. So welcome from the Startup Autobahn side as well. My name is Adrian. I'm part of the corporate team here, and I had the privilege to co-organize this breakout session together with Enrico and Allegra, as well as Camilla, who is in the back end here. And we are really looking forward to showcase what our newest, let's say, office in Italy, or Motor Valley Accelerator, is all about, and also showcase you let the startups of the first Motor Valley Accelerator badge pitch in front of you today. And I think we would directly dive into it without a further ado from my side. And for that, I would like to give it up to Enrico, who will provide some context what the Motor Valley Accelerator is all about. Take it away.
Thanks, Adrian. Thanks so much. Welcome, everybody. I'm Enrico Dente, and I'm the responsible for the Motor Valley Accelerator initiative. I will be very quick with this introduction so that I leave space to the startups that will be pitching, and they are very interesting, so I'll be very quick. So this is our team. As Adrian said, Camilla, program associate, she is following the operation side of the program. Allegra from Crete, that is our partner in this new adventure as Plug and Play, is following the scouting and ventures activities and will be moderating the session afterwards. So one very quick slide just to tell you what is Motor Valley Accelerator. That is not the classic Plug and Play program. Basically, we are working with Crete, that is a Modenese scouting technology scouting company, selecting 8 to 10 startups per year, together with the government, which is represented by Cassa Depositi e Prestiti. And we are selecting, investing, and accelerating for 5 months 8 to 10 startups, automotive industry, and early stage. We are also working, as any Plug and Play program, with a lot of great companies that are supporting the program and are willing to develop POCs and pilots and mentorship sessions with the startups as well. So without further ado, I would leave the stage to Allegra. We have very short time, and we have 9 of the startups of the Motor Valley Accelerator first batch pitching today. So Allegra, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Enrico. Thank you, Adrian. So I'm Allegra, Ventures and Innovation Advisor for Crete Motor Valley Accelerator. So just start with the first startup. Please come to the stage, Francesco from 2Electron. 2Electron will present a McFly technology that brings you to drive EVs with the same feeling you have while driving combustion vehicles. So please, Francesco, go on with your pitch.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Francesco Spagnolo. I'm 2Electron CEO. Next slide, please. Thank you. Is driving an electric car as exciting as driving a car with a turbocharger V6 or a V12? The sensation when shifting gear, the engine note and vibration we have always loved are unmistakable. The best acceleration so far is not enough. Why believe that the mobility evolution is a trade-off between great emotion and zero emission? What if you could drive an electric vehicle and at a click select, for example, the same sensation as a 7-speed V12 engine or a turbocharger V6 with real gearbox interaction or tailor-made experience? Next, please. With patented McFly technology, we merge motor engineering, gaming, and the best know-how in audio vibrational fields, giving a single electric vehicle the experience of 1,000 engines in one, the dream of every cars and motorcycle lovers. To demonstrate our technology, we built Emula, electric motorcycle, presented for the first time during EICMA 2019, then in October 2020, track tested with international media. On the right, our first customer, Totem Automobili with the GT Electric, a Jabil Alfa Romeo Resto Mod with a tailor-made McFly technology and sequential gear shifter. We signed a contract that will generate $500,000 turnover in the next 2 years. Next, please. I want to underline that I'm not just talking about adding a sound to the electric vehicle. I'm talking about changing completely the drivability with real gear shifting and power drop at the rev limiter, and then produce real-time and audio and multi-channel sound related to the modulated performances. With our algorithms and a couple of paddles, we can transform any electric platform, 2 and 4 wheels, into a never-before-experienced zero-emission driving trail. Demolition of petrol engines is just our showcase. Our focus will allow our customer to design engine with a selectable number of gears from a blank canvas, a torque explosion at certain RPM, and a futuristic sound starting maybe from ice contamination. To not lose the branding and the family feeling, the McFly will be the new horsepower. Next, please. Today we have our controller and real-time software engine cross-platform, international IPR, 2-wheel POC Emula already track tested. We are looking for tier 1 industrial partnership, networking, and seed investment. Our short-term goal is to produce 2- and 4-wheel customer POC street legal. In the medium term, the pilot project in industrial environment, SIL assessment, and homologation. I want to leave you with this final thought. People who love the drive need emotion. We are a Motor Valley Accelerator company that thinks about sustainable mobility, but with a big smile. Thank you for your attention. Feel free to contact me on my email address too. Thanks again.
So thank you very much, Francesco. Questions? Do you have any questions? You can write them in the box of Q&A. We have 2 minutes questions. If not, so I have one.
Okay.
Have you examined how reliability for the EV powertrain could be affected?
Yes, we are working on torque request. So the main is that we cannot change the performance on the vehicle directly to the customer controller. We ask through the CAN network or directly with the throttle torque request and regenerative braking to reproduce the regenerative braking on the vehicles.
Okay, we have, thank you. And
thank you, Giri.
Yeah, we have a question. Oh no, just fantastic.
Just fantastic. Good luck. Yes, it's an amazing question with already with answer. Yeah.
Okay. So the last one, are your target market only the new EVs, or do you plan to address the solution also to retrofit EVs in some ways?
Yeah, first we want to develop our technology and propose our technology to the car makers and two wheels maker. Then in the future, it will be possible to prepare aftermarket kits for some mass production vehicles or motorbike.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Lisandro will come now on the stage.
I can go out, right?
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Thanks to all for your time.
So Lisandro is the CEO of CarChain, that is a car marketplace that applies the blockchain technology to the vehicle's records via non-fungible token. So,
yes, that's right. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. And hello to everyone. I'm Lisandro, and I'm the founder CEO of CarChain. Next, please. So how many times did you hear that someone was sold a clock or crash car without being warned? You might not know, but the European Parliament stated that odometer frauds may cost more than 9 billion euros in annual economic losses, which is a lot of money. This type of fraud occurs mainly when cars are sold cross-border. Then, if we move towards classic cars, you may know that the car history and pedigree might double or triple its value when trading them. The asymmetric information between buyers and sellers drives people to pay an unfair price for the vehicle. In CarChain, we are working to solve these issues, commonly known as the lemons problem. Next, please. Bear this in mind, we are developing solutions to create a vehicle identity on the blockchain through non-fungible tokens or NFT. These tokens are the digital representation of the real asset, and they can keep the records immutable and permanent. By doing so, we are helping to lower down the odometer frauds and vehicle originality scams with trading them. This means that people who have good cars, not lemons, will get a fair price. NFTs are unique, indivisible, transferable, which means that the token can be transferred when the car is sold. Next, please. We record on the blockchain all information coming from 3 different sources: the end user, third parties, and through IoT devices if the vehicle technology is available. End users can register the car and create the non-fungible token through our marketplaces. Besides, they can submit new records such as maintenance services or repairs. Then we will use third-party data and services to update different details such as mileage, accidents, or alert if the vehicle was stolen. Finally, when possible, we will collect this information directly from the telematics system installed in the cars. Next, please. For these solutions, the total addressable market is 1 billion cars and 100 billion euros. We've submitted patent requests in the United States, Italy, and the European Union. They refer to the methodology of registering a vehicle on the blockchain and sharing its information through QR codes. CarChain embraces a skilled, diversified, and creative team with a strong know-how. Next, please. We have different solutions beyond car tokenization, so please don't hesitate to get in touch. And thank you for your attention. And well, let me know if you have any doubt or question. Thanks.
Thank you, Lisandro. Anyone with questions? Okay, so I'll do it. How can I be sure that my records are written in blockchain? Do you provide me like an hash code?
Yes, so we record on the blockchain different information. The vital information is going to be written on the smart contract. The smart contract can be traced through a hash code, and we're going to provide a certificate that is going to be stored on the account of the end user through the marketplaces, and he's going to be able to see all the things and all the documents that are going to be also stored on the blockchain.
Okay, we have a question from Joshua. What blockchain platform do you use?
Okay, for a scalability reason, we're going to use the Polygon protocol because it's cheaper to deploy the smart contract on the blockchain. So Polygon is working on the second layer of the Ethereum blockchain and is working with the Solidity language. So it's compatible.
So from Sebastian, what's the incentive for third parties to supply data records to the car's digital ID?
Well, we are going to so you can purchase this database, this information, or for instance, if we are going to collect information from insurance companies or something like that, we can make an agreement with them so they can offer their products also to the end users.
Okay, from Anonymous. Can you track the car's history before implementation of the solution?
Well, the only way to do this is to that we are going to do it. We are going to include in the non-fungible token at the beginning the report that we are going to obtain from different sources like Carfax, CarVertical. CarVertical is they provide a report of the history of the car, and they are working also with blockchain. So we are going to include all of these reports on the non-fungible token to give more transparency to this. And after that moment, we are going to start recording all the information that the end user or third parties or the telematics are going to provide us.
Okay, so thank you, Lisandro. Now we give the stage to Green Independence. So for Green Independence, there is Alessandro. And Green Independence will present a new artificial leaf that recycles CO2 emissions and exploits solar energy through green hydrogen production. Please, Alessandro, go on.
Okay, thank you. I had big trouble. So yes, I'm Alessandro Monticelli. I'm the founder of Green Independence. Next slide, please. I want to start our talk with a question. Would you believe me if I tell you that you can save your world with just 10 parking spots, 100 toilet flush, and the sun? Let's find out. Next slide. So we basically try to copy nature, and we use nature as a blueprint. So we create the new artificial leaf, which is a photovoltaic panel of new generation that transforms water into hydrogen by just using the sun, and CO2 into syngas in a direct solar to hydrogen way that do not require any connection to the grid. So we are detached, standalone device. Next slide, please. So what are the three main features that we have in our technology compared to the other one? We do, as I said, direct green hydrogen. We have secondary products such as the recycle of CO2 emission, and we are a standalone device that can be applied where photovoltaic panels and electrolyzer mixed together cannot be installed. Next slide, please. So we basically solve the two main problems of energy in just one device. We solve solar intermittency through green hydrogen storage and CO2 emission with their recycle. Next slide. Our application starts from the B2B market, so from the energy industry. We take the energy industry and we renovate the existing infrastructure into green ones without destroying them, and we can move to also B2C markets such as transportation, residential buildings, and mass transportation, all because we have an unfair advantage, which is the fact that we are standalone and an extensive solution. Next slide, please. So we can be integrated along parking lots, refueling station, naval docks, railways, and gas pipelines. That's our unfair advantage. Next. So what about our technology? We started at University of Illinois in Chicago with a POC. Then we moved on to Polytechnic of Turin with a functional prototype. And with the support of SNAM, we validated our technology with a TRL5. And now we need to move on and to reach a 15 to 25 solar to energy efficiency and a levelized cost of hydrogen of €2 per kilogram of hydrogen produced. This is our goal. This is the next 2.5 years in front of us. Next slide, please. So how many of a new artificial leaf panel do we need to answer the average need of a European? Average need of a European is 500 kilowatt hour per year. So next slide. Exactly what I told you in the beginning. So we need for each and every European roughly 10 parking slots. Next slide, 100 toilet flush. Just if we use the hydrogen in a turbofan or in a thermal engine. If we use a fuel cell, we will need the half. So even less than this. Next slide. This is our amazing team, but we don't have time to tell you all about it. Next slide. This is our challenge. This is what we're trying to do. We hope that you will join us and help us. At the moment, we are in the seed round fundraising phase, and we're looking for investors and tech partners. So contact us or ask me questions because I'm ready to answer.
Thank you, Alessandro. One question here. How do you estimate the cost of €2, I think, per kilogram?
So we simulate, with the help of Polytechnic of Turin, we simulate the cost and we set a range for cost per square meters from €100 per square meters of panel to €800 per square meters. And using several equations and the field test, we estimate that we can reach the €2 per kilogram target once we hit mass production.
Okay, next one. What's the process behind it? Maybe I missed it. Standard electrolysis.
No, it's not standard electrolysis. We work at low temperature, low voltage, and it's basically very similar to an electrolysis, but we basically integrate, embed inside a photovoltaic panel an electrochemical cell that does not only water splitting, but also other cellular reaction That's why we can also couple it with the CO2 reduction or even other secondary product production that will help to lower the hydrogen cost in the end. So to simplify it is similar to an electrolyzer, but it's not, because it works at low temperature and low pressure. You can put it in your house in the end, so it's not exactly the same.
Last one very quickly, is the technology patented?
Yes, we have submitted 2 patents, one in the beginning of our journey, and now a second one with a patent on the systems, and we are waiting for answer from the European Commission, yes.
Okay, thank you. So now it's the turn of HEXADRIVE engineering. So we welcome Francesco. HEXADRIVE is developing a software that aims to facilitate the large-scale deployment of digital twin technology.
Thank you, Allegra, for the introduction. HEXADRIVE is an innovative startup with the goal of scaling the business by bringing our digital twin technology into the industry. We introduced to the market vertical software tools to make digital twins, mathematical models that can replicate in real time the physical behavior of selected assets. And not surprisingly, we started with electric motors, which are the platform assets per excellence. The e-mobility market, which includes electric cars, bicycles, motorcycles, and so on, is growing exponentially. Hence, this market is facing scalability challenges for which the digital twin application is well suited. Mr. Musk said, cooling, not power to weight ratio, is the challenge with electric motors. Well, for EV application, but not only, motor cooling is the most important task for the following reasons. First, increase the efficiency, decrease failures, save battery power, thereby increasing vehicle range, and ultimately extend the life cycle of the machine. This is done today using oversized cooling system and cautious control strategies, since it is not physically possible to measure the temperature in the part of the motor that matters most, which is the rotor. Further, to develop semi-reliable thermal models, standard techniques require a lot of time, high-skilled personnel, many commissioning experiments, and multiple thermal sensors implemented in the stator, which increase manufacturing costs. Next slide, please. HEXADRIVE digital twin technology outperformed the state of the art. We introduced Motor Twin, a software to quickly and automatically develop digital twins of electric motors. Our software uses a hybrid approach, both based on physics system and artificial intelligence. It's an easy-to-use product whose digital twins are characterized by unprecedented real-time model execution speed, holding a high level of accuracy. Next slide, please. Once created and connected with the real motor, the digital twin enables the following disruptive features. First, you can use it in a simulation environment, testing your virtual prototype with many different drive cycles. Then, once your design is complete, you can deploy the digital twin directly into the embedded hardware which controls the machine. This allows to implement model predictive control for optimizing the cooling system and monitoring the rotor temperature in real time using the digital twin as a soft sensor, then decreasing the number of sensors in production. Here we have a practical example of our demo showcase. We use digital twin directly into the electric motor drive level. So you can better estimate in real time the torque, run the motor cooler, and save up to 10% of the battery, extending the range of the vehicle without any additional hardware. Next slide, please. Make HEXADRIVE your industrial partner to explore the world of digital twin. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Francesco. Are there any questions? So can this approach be used for an electric motor, for example, actuators, industrial machines?
Thank you for the question. Yes, Allegra, sure. We developed this methodology that it's general for any kind, any typology of electric motors, synchronous, asynchronous, continuous. So the answer is yes, of course.
Okay, let's see if there are other questions. Okay, so, okay, what is the difference to motor simulation softwares?
Thank you for the question. Let's say that the value proposition of our software is the real-time feasibility. It's like to have this kind of simulation software that they use a high fidelity model, very, very heavy from the computational view. But thanks to our technology, it's like that we can implement this kind of models directly into the embedded hardware for real-time application. So our value proposition is to develop a software that can quickly and automatically develop extremely accurate model, but extremely lower computational demanding. So we can enable the implementation in very cheap hardware, like directly into the converter of the motor. So we can have a sort of super accurate model implemented directly in the control of the motor in real time. That can make the difference in performance.
Okay, thank you, Francesco. Now,
you're welcome.
Welcome Ivan from InVisense.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So InVisense is working on the production of low-cost and versatile radars.
Oh, hello. Thank you for having me here. This is Ivan from InVisense, and we develop cheapest sensors to meet active safety requirements. I'm talking about radars. Next, please. Active safety is driven by regulations. Some of those systems are mandatory, some will be soon. It means automotive companies are obliged to install new sensors on their vehicles. Imaging radars and lidars are promising, but yet expensive. So no cheaper than 100 and 150 euros for a single sensor. But what if you have 150 euros for the entire vehicle, counting the optical camera? Low-cost radars can help. Next, please. There are radars for 20 euros already. They can't handle most scenarios due to limited performance. We understood that those radars have decent RF part and decent high-level processing, and they could perform better. So the bottleneck is the low-level software on the radar. We talked to the industry and know that it happens due to legacy constraints. And we also think that no one loves to polish low-level instructions as well. So we took available components and rethink the low-level software of the radar to make it versatile at a low price. An example, to make a radar that works as parking sensor, short or mid-range sensor by demand. Next, please. We have several prototypes. First, a custom 24 GHz radar with FPGA processing, patent amplifiers, and basic sensor fusion software with the camera. Or second, a 77 GHz radar on chip. We're making custom board for it and rewrite the ARM software. 3 and 4, we also have testing and radar simulation software that we are using with TCP/IP protocols. Next, please. As you see, we are focused on the low-level software, but able to build the entire radar and ready to start pilot projects this year. Please reach us if you are a Tier 1 or Tier 2 OEM supplier to know how your ADAS system benefit from low-cost radars. Or if you are a sensor fusion or radar developer focused on high-level processing or the radar architecture in general, we can collaborate. Let us suggest the data acquisition and processing pipeline that fits your approach. Looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. So I see one question here. Who are your more direct competitors?
Oh, thank you for the question. Love it very much. In fact, I'm doing annual radar startups review, and there are more than 25 radar startups in the world right now. I'm publishing to the Microwave Journal. And speaking about the approach, I know no companies that are focused on this particular niche low-level software. In example, companies like Under or Arbe, they are developing state-of-the-art hardware. Or companies like, let's say, Zender or others, they are focused on the AI processing. And I can not tell you the exact company that is focused on the particular niche and the low-cost applications. So I was trying to find it for more than 5 years.
Okay, other questions from the public? Okay, how could a pilot project look like with the tier 1?
Thank you. The question is what type of ADAS the company is developing and what radars does it has. An example, well, the easiest way, we can provide our samples to fit into your existing ADAS and see how they work. We can tune the sensor, we can tune the processing. So this is how the pilot project can be performed. So the samples, testing, tuning, understanding the results.
Any other question? Okay, so thank you, Ivan.
Thank you for having me here.
Now we welcome Matteo from Novak. Novak develops all solid-state supercapacitors that are entirely moldable on every surface.
Hi, everyone. Hello, I'm Matteo, and now I'm going to show you Novak. Next slide, please. In Novak, we develop supercapacitors. A supercapacitor is a device that stores energy like batteries, with the difference that a battery contains a lot of energy released very slowly, while a supercapacitor contains less energy, but it can be charged and discharged very quickly. For this reason, batteries and supercapacitors are not alternatives to one another, but they are complementary, so they can work together in a hybrid system that is much more efficient. But the usage of supercapacitors nowadays is limited by their technology. It means that they contain a liquid inside them, a liquid electrolyte, that leads to some important problems, because there is, for example, a safety issue because this liquid could leak out, explode, or evaporate, and the supercapacitor would stop working, of course. And furthermore, supercapacitors are used in packs that are bulky, so they are difficult to be put into a vehicle. In Novak, we are developing a new generation of supercapacitors that can solve this problem because it's completely solid. This means that there is no liquid that could leak out, evaporate, or explode. And furthermore, our supercapacitor is completely shapeable. This means that we can pass from the situation on the left in which the car has a green box of supercapacitor inside it, a box that is occupying a space that could be used for something else. We can pass to the situation on the right, in which now the green part, the supercapacitor, is integrated into the structure of the vehicle. Of course, this is just an example of an application. These products is very useful for all the vehicles that must be as light as possible, in which the space must be optimized. So all the automotive industry, the space economy, and also the smart mobility sector, of course. Next slide, please. We have already filed 4 patents in Italy, completely held by us. 2 regards the supercapacitors materials, while the other 2 regards the production process. Next, please. And this is the team. We are 4 engineers of different branches of engineering. We have 2 vehicle engineers. Then we have an electronics engineer and a material engineer. Next, please. At the moment, we are looking for potential customers for POC projects and also partners to develop the production process that is customized for different applications. This is all. Thanks for the attention. These are our contacts if you want to know more. Thanks.
Thank you, Matteo. So to what extent is your supercap moldable?
It's very moldable because the shape is already planned before the production starts. So we already have the shape and we produce the supercapacitor with that shape. So we can cover and adapt our supercapacitor to different kind of surfaces, and we are trying also to try to fill volumes, so empty spaces, to integrate multiple layers of our supercapacitors to fill also empty volume and to use also these spaces.
Waiting for more questions from the public. Don't be shy. What kind of customers are you looking for?
So basically, we are looking for different kind of customers. It's they are the producers of the vehicles, and vehicles that go from the automotive to smart mobility. So the producers of these devices, also in the markets that are trying to move from ICE from combustions to electric, and the key is they must be looking for innovations, because they must be willing to adapt also their structure to the supercapacitor, and we have to chat with them to decide what is the best setup for the supercapacitor in their vehicle.
Okay, so if there are no questions, we'll go with Oskin. So Alessandro will speak for Oskin, that is a startup that creates sustainable and vegan leather made with byproducts of oranges and cactuses.
Thank you, Allegra, and good afternoon to everyone. So, do you know the feeling when you really love something, but also you start feeling guilty about it and thinking you should give up on it? Take leather. None of the luxury cars and components we love would feel and look the same without leather. But, next slide, please. Leather is also not sustainable. Until today, the 80% of leather worldwide is still tanned with chrome, with devastating effects on the environment. And of course, there's the issue of the animal suffering. And next slide, please. And consumers are more and more concerned about it. Searches for vegan leather have increased by 119% in 2018. And vegan leather will total $85 billion by 2025. And the biggest part of it will be taken by the automotive industry. Next slide, please. For this reason, we patented a circular economy process through which we can transform the byproducts of oranges and cacti from the food and cosmetic industries into a new luxury material comparable to luxury leather. So, and we sealed industrial partnerships with Italian giants in the transformation of agricultural biomasses and plastic material productions. And to these partnerships, we produce at an industrial scale, and we are ready to scale up. Next slide, please. And Oskin is more durable than pure-based synthetic leather, as is subject to hydrolysis. It uses lattice-free PVC that complies with US REACH, USA's Proposition 65 rules. And its durability, resistance to abrasion, to lag, and heat are comparable to real leather, as proved by Jungle, Xeno, and Martinelli tests, respectively. But as opposed to leather, Oskin does not require any animal part in any part of the process, and it is fully customizable, and it is also far more sustainable. Next slide, please. So we're looking forward to hearing from car makers and dashboard suppliers who can contact us at info@oskin.com. So thank you for your attention. I'm available to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So do you have samples available?
Yes, we have, and we also setting up our website, and we will able to sell samples within, I hope, days. And we also available to hearing questions and inquiries and to send some samples to you.
Any other questions from the public? What byproducts do you use?
Byproducts are from oranges and cacti. To be specific, we use what remains from oranges after squeezing for juice, and what remains on the ground when the cactus from the pre-clipper harvest will be cut off from the plant to make the fruit more juicy and sweet. You have to cut off some paddles from the cactus, and we use them. We made them into dust, make them into dust, and we use them as long as the what remains from the oranges.
Last question, anyone? Okay, so let's go on. Thank you, Alessandro.
Thank you very much. Have a good night and nice day. Bye.
Bye. So we welcome Marco from Refilla, that is a startup developing an ecosystem of advanced charging devices based on swappable batteries managed by an IoT cloud platform.
Thank you, Allegra. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Marco, but before introducing you Refilla, I want to ask you a question. Next slide, please. Do you know how much time takes to recharge an electric vehicle? Probably you're all market experts, but the easiest way to answer is so much more than the time we are used to spend when refueling your conventional car. But speaking about figures, charging an electric car takes from 30 to 450 times more than a conventional car just to travel the same distance. This is definitely not negligible. Next, please. So, wouldn't it be great if someone come to charge your vehicle when the battery is low without even thinking about it? Just forget the problem of charging. Next, please. This is what at Refilla we've called charge delivery. We'll bring energy through your vehicle right where it is and when it's needed, to make you forget the problem of charging and to let you enjoy only the best part of the electric driving experience. Next, please. We remotely monitor your vehicles, and as soon as the battery drops below a certain threshold that we have agreed upon, we'll bring the energy where and when it's needed. Everything to let you always be ready for the next electric journey. Next, please. But now it's time to introduce you Philly, our innovative charging device. Flexibility is in its DNA since the first concept. It's based on swappable and power electronics. To give you an idea, Philly ensures up to 100 kilometers in just a few minutes. It's completely self-operant, just need to be connected to the vehicle. Imagine who can be interested. For instance, the service can be easily integrated into premium car offers, giving to the customer a free charge for their new BEV vehicle, or maybe included into the existing mobility packages. Who is interested? Basically, anyone who needs energy to move. Next, please. We are the founders of Refilla, complementary automotive backgrounds, and together with the team we are building, we want to initiate a new way of experiencing the urban mobility, not only electric, but without the fear of running out of battery. Next, please. We are completing our prototype phase. In parallel, we are looking for capitals to complete the development and be ready for the pilot project of the charge delivery program that is targeted in the first half of 2022. Then we have clear plans to scale through franchise partnership, expand to major European urban environments, obviously not limited to Italy. Next, please. The worst error we can do now, more than ever, is continuing doing as we have always done. We are looking for partners to build a new way of experiencing electric mobility by forgetting to recharge. Make the world a more silent and greener place with Refilla. Thank you for your time, and please don't hesitate to contact us for further details.
Thank you, Marco. I see a question here. What is the size and spec of your energy storage? Is it battery or a generator?
No, it is battery based, and the batteries are swappable to enhance the turnover. The energy stored with one device is about 13 kilowatt hours, and the power to deploy this charge is up to 25 kilowatt in direct current. And obviously will be green energy for sure.
What kind of partnerships are you looking for? Short-term, long-term, etc.?
We are looking for strong partnerships that in long term would be obviously the right way, but we want to build the pilot projects with OEM, with mobility players, or also with utilities that are interested in this kind of services within their offers. Obviously, the long term for including into more cities and more packages as possible, it's what we are looking for.
Let's see if we have other questions. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Let's go on with Reeve. From Reeve, we have Igor speaking. So Reeve is developing an hybrid kit that aims to transform gas-running cars, so used cars, into hybrid ones.
Thank you, Allegra. Hi, my name is Igor Feltz, and I'm a founder of Reeve. We all know that traffic pollution is a cause for many economical problems, regulatory, and of course environmental and health issues in almost any larger city. Let me briefly remind you on what is happening around us. EU has set the target to be zero emission by 2050. There are many low emission zones introduced in metropolitan areas, and a huge pressure is put on car manufacturers to sell much lower emission vehicles. But still, selling new EVs alone will not solve the problem. Next slide, please. By doing our research, we have found out that by 2030, there will be only around 15% of EVs and hybrids combined within the whole EU market. The solution for this is Reeve Hybrid Kit that will get the running cars electrified, so you can choose to drive electric, combustion, or both as with any hybrid car. How do we do it? We will add an electric motor to existing driveline and install a really thin battery under the car. When looking at car sales figures, we can see that there is a clear dominant player on the EU market, that is Volkswagen, meaning that there are a lot of vehicles sharing the same platform, what makes our job a lot easier. Next, please. Our product is unique because of our core tech, battery module, battery structure, and motor belt connection. Now we are focusing our efforts on the battery solution because we believe this is something that will first find its market application during our journey. At the moment, we are on a 4th battery module design update, just assembling the prototype and reviewing it with several industry experts. On the other side, our step-by-step approach is aligned with 3 key business pillars: developing the product, finding the right partners, and building a distribution network. So, we would love to share our plans and get your feedback on what would be the best approach in launching this kind of a product. Why can we do it? Well, We have some really unique solutions in different technical areas. We have Mate Rimac as an advisor from the start, and altogether, we have more than 50 years of experience in the automotive industry. And last slide, please. But most importantly, we are searching for industry connections with whom we can build this technology together. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Igor. Questions? Okay. Wow, a lot. What range can you offer with the thin battery module, and is it safe for underbody impacts?
Range depends on the car model. We are aiming between 10 and 30 kilometers of pure EV drive on standard cycle, so relatively low power applications. Is it safe? The battery itself needs to go through a standard certification process, and it is as safe as any other EV battery that is out in the market.
Next one.
Yeah, the price. The price of a kit is aimed to be between 2,000 and 3,000 euros for a customer after the installation and all of the distribution margins. But that is a long-term goal. After a serial development and mass scale manufacturing, and everything in between is a niche applications that we are currently searching for, trying to identify the best niche that would be good for this for current company status. Video of what?
Yeah, will the video will be available?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yes.
Yes, the whole session was recorded, so we will have the recording of it available, sharing, if the startups are okay with it. But I assume they are.
Do you have IP, Igor?
IP, there, as I described, there are 3 technical areas. So we have several solutions within the battery that are under development, potentially really good for IP application. And we already did a IP research for a motor belt connection where the Politecnico di Milano had the patent application for almost the same solution, and it was disregarded back in 2015. So basically the solution itself is free. Now we are working on a more detailed part of the solution. So that's there are a couple of parallel activities happening, and we are focusing on the battery right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Igor.
Ciao.
So this was the last startups from MVA. We thank you all for participating into the session, and I hope you had interesting insights. And if you want, you can contact all the startups. They left you all the emails, or if not, you can reach out to Enrico, Camila, or me. We have the email address in the speaker profile. And also thanks to Startup Autobahn for hosting us.
Sure thing. Thank you also from our side. It's great having you all. And yes, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. I think we have one more breakout session slot ready, so also feel free to jump over there. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for the startups, for the great pitches. And I would say have a great afternoon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.